Hey, it's Tracy Silverman. Welcome to my studio. I want to tell you about my online course, Part 2, the Rhythm String Player. This is the course that comes after Part 1, the Strum Bowing Method. Or if you're already familiar with strum bowing, you can jump in right here. We're going to spend about 15 minutes a day here for the next 30 days as we do this second 30-day groove challenge. Yes, your playing will be transformed, but no, your classical technique will not be harmed in the process. It's like learning a second language. You're not going to forget your mother tongue. Except in this case, our second language, learning pop music, is everyone else's first. My online course, Part 2, the Rhythm String Player, includes digital downloads of all these books. The Strum Bowing Method, How to Groove on Strings, the Rhythm String Player, Strum Bowing in Action, Strum Bowing Etudes, Chord Jams, Strum Bowing Etudes Book 2. Plus, there are downloadable lesson plans for every lesson that you can use as a practice guide going forward. That's pretty much my entire published catalog. Now, if you've already taken Part 1, you may already have some of these books, but just in case you don't have them, or if you're just jumping in here at Part 2, now you do. It's like a crash course in a second musical language. By the end of the 30 days, you're going to be fluent in the contemporary rhythm techniques used in rock, jazz, and pop music. If you're serious about getting your groove playing up to speed, my strum bowing course makes it easy and foolproof. I guarantee it. Try it, and if you don't like it, I will give you 100% of your money back. Hello, strum bowers, and welcome to lesson 37. I'm going to get right into it. We got so much to work on today. This is a really... So, you should be kind of strumming along in the air along with that guitar. And the first thing that you should notice is that it's almost continuous groove-ons, right? He's almost playing through the whole thing. Right? It's a little bit different from bar to bar. It's not exactly the same riff, but it's more or less the same rhythmic idea. And that's what I have written here in bar 10. And that's this very simple hemiola idea, which is 1 and ba 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 1, 2, 3, 4. Right? That's hard to do. 1, 2, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. In the 30 lessons of Part 2, we're going to learn about 3D strumming, which is where we mix the horizontal strum bowing concept with the vertical compound chop that we learned in Part 1. This is where we really begin integrating chords and start functioning as a rhythm instrument, playing chords and harmony rhythmically. Then we're going to learn some of the basic building blocks of harmony using etudes from my Chord Jams Etudes book. We need to start learning the language of chords and harmony. So we're going to learn some of these basic chord patterns, otherwise called chord progressions or chord changes. Then we take these chord patterns and see how they're treated differently in different genres. We can't cover every genre in this one unit of the course, but we will get into funk, rock, jazz, blues, bluegrass, Celtic, Latin, and hip-hop and pop. And we'll also dig into grooving in odd meters, which is something I really love. You know that you need to make a change in your playing, and you've already taken action. You know that grooving is the key to playing in contemporary styles. I've crafted a systematic approach to understanding and mastering grooving on a stringed instrument. Strings aren't played as chordal instruments in classical music, so we're never taught how to strum with our bow. It never came up. But the time has come for strings to speak in our shared musical language so that string players can make this connection with our own shared musical culture. Strings must evolve or they will perish. Wouldn't you like to know the trick that all those great choppers like Daryl and Casey use to get those great grooves? Wouldn't it be great to know how it's so easy and fun for them? Well, let me show you the one big secret that's going to transform your playing from a chop stroke to a chop groove. It's a shortcut to grooving that I call the compound chop. Here's how it works. It's just a double chop. So if a chop stroke is a simple chop, compound chop is, so we have a power stroke, rest stroke, power stroke, rest stroke. Super simple, but it's the key to integrating the chop into a groove because it physicalizes the subdivision. It turns it into a simple motor that runs all the time, or what I call strum bowing. And I know from doing this for a long time that you're going to get the concepts more clearly and much faster if I can show it to you and actually demonstrate with close-ups so you can really see what's going on. If you can see the difference there between this and this, kind of bar chord approach like a guitar player, just kind of putting your finger across. Sometimes that works better for these fifths. Fifths are tough. Fifths are tough on stringed instruments, and unfortunately a big part of this rock and roll sound because of power chords. So I'm looking for progressive-minded string players who are concerned about the future of strings. I'm looking for string teachers who are trying to expand that old dinosaur model of conservatory string training. I'm looking for string players who want to jam in a band with their non-string playing friends who yearn to be relevant. I get that, and I feel like it's my responsibility to fan those flames and to share a little bit of my experience and expertise and to encourage people who need a little bit of encouraging. All right, I know that's a lot of stuff, but don't just take my word for it. Here's what others are saying. Do it for yourself, for your students, and for the greater groove. Strum bowing. Get your groove on.